February 24th, 2022. They're speaking about a specific situation. One girl who's Ukrainian, border Russia, and she said she's here in the United States, or she's here in the United States, it says, speaking to her parents, and they tell of the story of what's going on, like the website is taken down. But then the newscasters go into this. Now, they're at a round table, and there's two people that are non-familial, and then there's the one semi-familial person. Well, Tony will make him the familial person, kind of, sort of, not really. So now, the messages coming from Nate and this other woman, are they supposed to be the sentiment of the blackened of the Ukraine-Russian dispute at the table for this communication project? Just curious, because I'm in the state of New York where I'm receiving the message, and it gets confusing, because I would probably be a closer familial relative to a Ukrainian than Nate and the other woman at the table, but yet the woman at the table actually went to college, learned some of the Ukrainian history, and got to be immersed in Ukrainian culture and people, which I've never been introduced to. So I'm having my heritage and culture withheld from me. I don't even know where to find my people, no matter where they come from, when they arrive in the United States of North America. But yet there's people at this table that have gotten somewhere in life, that have had brushes with the populations, the gypsy populations, we'll call it. But what gets really confusing is in this Democratic table view, the news reporters, are they foreign actors in a blackened state where there's actually an African and, let's just say, a Madagascar at the moment? So we have an island and we have an intercontinental, speaking on behalf of some other populist group that funds them and allows them free speech on this level of communication to a larger population. I'm not clear how that works or how to interpret it, because I'm pretty sure without a playbook, the average couch potato has no idea. And I am pretty sure that if we are talking long and larger scale communications projects, there are familial members to Nate and there's familial members to this woman that do not feel as nice and cordial as these two members that are speaking at the table.
The official website of Ukraine's parliament, she says, has been taken down.
Probably because so people won't receive any updates or any other information. I would think so.
Hapoinchiko told us that living with this threat has been a part of daily life, but this is the first time her parents have ever decided to leave. Hapoinchiko's brother, her niece, and boyfriend are also in Ukraine. Everyone, she says, at this point is really just seeking safety. And we did speak to some other Ukrainian Americans that have been here now for at least 15 or 20 years.
This is the woman who's been able to find Ukrainian society within North America. She's spent time with them. She knows some of their history. I have not had the same opportunity. So when I see this war going on, it's difficult because I don't have words from far away to set a pretext of who they are as a people or what their struggles were or what they went through. So there's a disconnect that I'm experiencing, but for some reason she was given this lovely opportunity to be educated directly, and to get to know some of them.
And the sentiment was fear. It was, I've always known that there's been a threat, but now it feels real. And I even reached out to the woman that we spoke to who wasn't in our piece, but she said she has not been able to reach her family yet, and her biggest concern is not having the communication and wondering if that breaks down, then what? And there's no plan.
It's absolutely terrifying. You know, we've been talking about how
Sounds kind of parallel to what I've been going through or what I've been explaining.
this affects the U.S.
Right.
You know, throughout all of this coverage, and one of it is that we're a country of immigrants, and there are huge Ukrainian communities.
Country of immigrants, that's interesting. Because the immigrant word was an imperial grant. There was specific passage in and passage out for the protection of larger things in the category of the things you can't see. There is somebody who actually cares about you if you are a loyal family member. So while you're participating in whatever manner you are called to participate in, there's still somebody else somewhere in the family that's looking for over the, we'll call it neat and tidy and mass migration of things. The increase in seafaring vessel and this airplane to just anyone has really made it very messy and difficult to keep safe in the manner that people have come to expect in their ignorance or their insolence or their in silence, but they know that there is the man upstairs, there is some form of God, there is some form of greater structure that overlooks and oversees as some governance, the G, the G over man, the creator, the structure. That is what is the integritous structure of the universe at the moment is what's being not necessarily the people involved in trying to hold the integrity that needs to be held because some people fight the integrity because they think one thing and they don't have a clear vision of just how much it takes. Almost like, I say, Vikings on a ship with a row team. You need the rowers to be in synchronous motion in order to keep the boat moving in the correct direction without going a degree off course.
Communities here in America, like in Chicago where I live, and all the people that you spoke to.
Right, and when we went to Lehigh Valley, which is right outside of Philadelphia, they have a substantial Ukrainian population there too, but there's so much, as you guys have been talking about all morning long, there's so much history, there's so much to understand about before the Soviet Union and when it broke up, but honestly, I think it's just prayer is what we heard a lot of.
Now we go from, on one argument, Lincoln's dilemma. Lincoln was an employer and had some employees, seasonal workers. The plantation seasonal worker idea ended. Seasonal workers needed to go back to wherever seasonal workers came from. And then 200 years later, this is what they're speaking of.
praying for my family in Ukraine. And that's all we can do. I can send money, I can send food, I can send clothing, but I can't make sure that my family is going to be safe.
And this is all counter Putin's idea that they're all part of a Russian history, a common history. 3/4 of the people in Ukraine speak Ukrainian, not Russian. They're Ukrainian, not Russian.
Yeah, and Adriana, you make a good point. As we sit here thinking about inflation and the conflict and impact it has on us, you think about the Ukrainian people that are spread out throughout the world that are...
I don't know if that's like a dig or like a chicken wing to like I speak English, Australia speaks English, and England speaks English. Naturally, we all speak English. Some of us have a different intonation, a melodic inflection to our English, but we all speak English even though our feet are on landmass that may be labeled or called or sound patterned differently.
that are worried about friends and family
Absolutely.
in this moment. We have to keep them in our thoughts and prayers. That's for Drika. Thank you so much. Coming up, a story that is very close to home for us here at New York. I'm here in CBS Mornings. An importance on good heart health. Our Dr. Tara Narula will tell
It's
us
star
about the experience of one of our producers,
1978, star
and what
8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. It's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxy is broken. It's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. Now this is interesting because I mentioned the other day about this new first alert weather. Since I've been tracking the weather outside last night, I lost sight of the moon. I had stars. I had low level aviation. I could not decipher with my own naked eye if there was cloud cover or depth, but the fact that I could see a star led me to believe that at least a portion of the sky didn't have clouds. Now, I saw this appear on the weather report, but I did not, and I saw a flash of the commercial, but it didn't really sink in. Sometimes in the teaching tool of the television, something this significant has to be repeated several times for it to really get ingrained into one's consciousness. And I had even said, I'm like, if it doesn't come up again on the television and I don't catch it, how am I going to know? And if I don't reference it, I'll have nothing to go back to. So this morning, amongst other things, they're mentioning it again. This is how quick the information goes. But if I'm not sitting here as a couch potato, if I'm out doing things that I'm supposed to be doing, if I had a set schedule and group of some sort, I would miss this completely.
Everyone, I'm Chief Weathercaster Lonnie Twain. I want to take just a minute and talk to you about something that's very important to us here at CBS 2 News. It's called First Alert Weather, and here is what it means for you.
So let's say it's a Monday, and our forecast data shows signs of a major storm brewing out west that could affect us on Friday.
Do you see how fast they talk? This is a teaching tool about weather and how to interact as a couch potato to their world of weather. And it is like they sped the dial up on the education system, like catch it really fast. Now, I'm fortunate I have a pause feature on this and a rewind feature, but if I didn't, I would not be able to catch this message in this one time. It would make absolutely no sense to me.
Rain and flood risks or dense fog that could affect your morning commute.
All the reasons for us to declare a first alert weather day. Here on TV and on all your devices.
And it's only found right here on CBS 2 News.
I only have a phone. I don't have other devices, and I don't have memory on my phone to go or working operating system memory on my phone in order to download all of these apps and programs, nor do I have the patience to do any of it. I don't want to encourage the problem to grow any further. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken.